Welcome, this is Bob Dust. Today we will talk about the differences between a for loop in C# and a for each loop. Now I've already set up a console application here. I have a string of array of names, maybe a few names here. So let's start out by comparing our for loop. I'm going to do a little console.write line here. I'm just going to say for loop. And this do a for loop. Now for loops, in my opinion, are kind of anti-C sharpish, if you will, because there's a lot of things going on here. Let's do for int I equals 0, semicolon, I less than names dot length, semicolon, I plus plus. And then we have the body of our loop where we will do var name equal name sub I, and we'll write that out. Console.write line name. Oops, name. Okay? Now let's take a look at what's happening here. This is our for construct. And there's actually 4 parts to this. The first part here, we'll put a comment out here. This is step 1. And this initializes and initializes our I variable. Step 2 is a comparison. It says, is the variable I less than the length of the names? Now here we have the body. The body of the message. And out here we'll say this is step 3. So what happens is we initialize our variable I. We do a comparison to see if this is true. As long as this is true, then we jump down here, we execute the body. After these 2 lines are executed, we jump back up here to step 4. As you can see with the for loop, the code is jumping all over the place. Plus it also bothers me that we have these semicolons here, because we all know that in C# a semicolon terminates a command, and here it doesn't. So it's kind of odd. But let's go ahead and run this, and we will see that this prints our names. So this is our for loop: Joe, Sue, Mary, Pat, and Chris. So it printed the names properly. And then we have the all done and the console.write lines. We're finished here. And you can see it kind of jumps through. If you want to, let me run this again. This time we do it in debug mode. I'm going to put a breakpoint here so you can see what's happening. So we'll start this. You notice we stop here. So step 1, initialize I. Step 2, compare I to the length, which is 5. And then we jump down here to the body, which is step 3. Execute the body. And we jump to step 4. After we initialize this, we jump back to step 2. So we are bouncing all over the place here. So it's kind of a difficult construct, in my opinion. We're just bouncing all over the place. And we'll continue here. But you see how it bounces around. So it's kind of annoying to see all that. So as you can see, we have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Then we actually jump back up here. Step 5. Step 6. And then step 7. It just bounces all over. So it's a little clunky in my opinion. So let's compare this construct with how we would do a for each. So let's do a console.writeLine, and we'll just say /n for each loop. I'm going to scroll up here a little bit so we can see what's going on. And now for each, we'll iterate through our collection up here one at a time. We say for each name in names. So names is our collection up here, Joe, Sue, Mary. And we'll say console.writeLine name. You can see there's no bouncing around. We just iterate through the names. It gives us one name at a time through our collection up here. Let's do this again. We'll run this. And we can see over here that here's the for loop. So we get the same result. But here's a for each loop, one at a time. Joe, Sue, Mary, Pat. And then we have it all done. So in my mind, this is nice, clean, simple. This is clunky. All these steps over here, bouncing all over the place, doing comparisons. This iterates through the list for us. I hope you can see the advantages of using the for each anytime we have to iterate through a collection. Now, if you're not iterating through, there's some other reasons you may want to use the for loop. But let's look at another example here. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing, same names up here. I'm gonna put these in a list. All right. Oh, sorry. Oops. Let me. This should be new list string that. All right. Let me scroll a little bit. Well, you can't see it here. If you're off the screen, I'll show you if I can. There's the end of it. All right, so just creating a list here. Now, if I want to go through my list and remove things, let's see what happens here. I'm going to do my for each again. And I'm going to remove. Now the beauty of a list is you can add and remove things from your list. And just to, I'm going to do a console.writeLine again. And I'm going to put in my name in here so I can see what I'm removing. And I'll put another console up here. And I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to take my for each loop here. I'm going to wrap a try catch around this. Oops. Let me scroll down. You can see what we're doing. I'm just going to put it right to the console line here. We can see what's going on. Now I'm going to run this, and you'll see that here I am iterating through my collection, but because this is a list collection, I can add and remove items from it. I'm going to remove a name here, and we're going to see that's going to cause a problem. Let me hit start. There's my first for loop, my for each. Then we change to a list. It removed Joe, no problem there. And then the second time through, it said the enumeration object operation may not execute because the collection was modified. So I cannot iterate through here and remove more than one item from my collection. So that could be a problem. This should be one example of where we would have to use a for loop. So let's change this again. This time I'm going to say for int I equal, but this time I'm going to change it to more names dot count minus 1, I greater than or equal to 0, and then I minus minus. Remember from before, I minus minus decrements rather than increments. So I am going to walk the collection backwards. I'm going to walk it backwards, and now I can so I'm starting at the end where my count, initialize I at the count minus 1. I'm going to get the last item here. I'm going to console write it. I'm going to write, let's do this. We say remove the name. And now I can remove the name backwards. Okay, so here I'm going to walk it backwards. This is a case where you would want to use the for loop. Let's see what happens now. Run this again. And you see here is we change the list, remove Joe, collection was modified. That's the error message we got from the catch up here. And then we walk the collection backwards, remove Chris. And notice now the backwards Chris, Pat, Mary, and Sue, and Joe's already been removed. So that is an example of when you would want to use a for loop. But other than that, most of the time, to me, this is much cleaner than using the old for loop process. Again, we just iterate through here, it gives us each name one at a time, and we can do whatever we want with it. Hope this was helpful to you, and see you later.